What Harper's here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would have been sweet.
Apparently he's like with his family. What is it like the holidays? Lame.
Whatever. He said he'd record from dinner, but I felt like that was maybe asking too much.
I do like the idea of him like eating with his family and like on the side, like sort of half listening to us and like chiming in.
Or just he has the Bluetooth earphone in and he's just carrying on 2 conversations at once.
Yeah.
And we're recording both of them.
Hopefully he's muting himself, but he may not be. All right. Well, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You want to do a second one, or are you good to go?
3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect. Yeah, so just prepare to...
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to...
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbelievable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You were listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is December 27th, 2021, and this is episode 559. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials and former season ticket holder. This show, we're going to discuss a 1-2 week for the Pacers with games against Miami, Houston, and Chicago. Joining me this show are 2 of our 3 analysts. We are not coast to coast like
We are
Buttered
not
Sauce.
at all. We are just right in the center of the country.
Yep, we are located in one room in Indianapolis.
Crossroads of America, baby.
But still, first, from Indianapolis, Indiana, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables crew? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Shout out to the family. Shout out to Mama and Papa Colson, who are letting us take over their house.
Right.
Record.
There was a long conversation about whether we should do it at the dinner table,
Ah,
but then they would have had to be upstairs. And
yeah, that's not happening.
That's fair.
I'm glad I missed that part.
Right.
I figured that's why I was late. I wanted you guys to have that
Get
fight
all figured-
first.
No, I did that earlier today.
Did you do the thing when you were young, like you try to like ask, you have your friend right next to you and be like, hey, can
He spend the night.
he spend the night?
Yeah.
But then they have to say no in front of
Oh,
the
yeah.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all the time, for sure.
Nice.
So this is actually kind of fun. Oh, you should introduce me. I don't know.
Who's
Whatever.
talking?
Whatever.
Also from Indianapolis, it's a Red House bartender. He mixes the drinks and the crappy jingles. John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? I'm really glad to be in the same room with you. And it's what's funny about this. Again, shout out to Moms and Pops Colson. But this is my old room. We used to hang out here, Jason.
A lot?
Well, usually with lots of hot ladies.
Oh,
Usually, that was the whole thing. Just
Oh.
pile them in, right?
Yeah.
It's like a clown car in my room. Hot ladies and me and Jason.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. It's just
Because the girls dig that stuff.
big time.
If you're done with your embellishments, we can move on.
Misremembering the past.
Right. Well, we were going to talk about the 3 games of the week, but before we do that, I want to remind you that you can support us over at patreon.com/undebeatables. You can support us for as little as $1 per month, and you also may be able to join our Slack community where we post sad gifs of the team going. This one was let's see, they were going down the slide. Little girl saying goodbye to the season. But that may be a little foreshadowing for the games this week if you didn't get to see them all. Again, that's patreon.com/undebeatables. So yeah, 3 games this week. The first one, I mean, I could have called this one a long time ago. You know, look, we could have called this one the schedule pod. This was long break, and then go to Miami.
Okay.
So yeah, we had 3 or 4 days off before we got to Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it was long break, and then go to the club, and then question, and then post-game conference about what happened out there.
Did you know what you didn't do though is add in the fact that we were going to be missing half of the Miami players on the other side.
It didn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
No, didn't matter. Pacers lose this one 125-96. This game was never close, and like you said, like most of the Miami starters are were not playing. And shout out to Charlie in the Slack had sent in a screenshot, or I think he took a picture of the TV, but essentially it was a picture of the score with there's like the 30-point gap, and then all of the Miami starters sitting on the bench in their street clothes. So that's how that game went.
Also Malcolm Brogdon re-injured his Achilles.
Sure.
So that was good.
Right. Sure. Just to add that to
So
and that's why we lost that one. Right.
Sabonis picks up 12. LeVert gets 17. Miles Turner had an efficient scoring evening. But yeah, not a great game. The second game of the week was a nice win. It was against Houston, and they win this one with a decent cushion there, 118-106. They were out there having fun, and scored 27 points in the fourth quarter, which has been a bit of a problem. So, but they do take this one. I'd say good looking from. This was the one that Miles Turner had his like breakout game or one of his breakout games of the year, but 32 points and looked fantastic. 14 of 18 from the floor that night, and 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. Great game for him. The team just looked happy.
Well, and LeVert looked good as a
replacement.
He was the replacement point guard because we're down our starting and backup point guard in Malcolm Brogdon and TJ McConnell.
Right.
And I think he had 11 dimes and looked good.
Yeah. So
And, no Sabonis in this game.
he had a calf injury, I believe.
We had fun beating up on one of the worst teams in the league at our house. So nice win.
Yeah. And the last game, Sunday, December 26th, taking on Chicago Bulls away. And Chicago's been a good team this year, and I was hoping that the Pacers could, play up to their potential. And Chicago's sort of had a little bit of rough time of late, just with COVID and players missing, but we couldn't take advantage of anything. And we lost this one, 113-105. Another one of those games I felt like it wasn't a blowout, but it was never really that competitive. We were just chasing the whole night.
We were down 18-8 the entire game.
Yeah.
We'd get it close. We'd get it below double-digit deficit, and you're like, oh, something's happening,
Yeah.
and then push it back up to 15.
Yeah, so timeout, and then it was like, well, we'll just give a couple buckets away.
Did you? I don't want to interrupt. I mean, I'm totally going to interrupt.
That's what's happening.
That's what I'm doing. Did you guys see Colbert did a thing on the starting lineup for the Chicago Bulls?
No.
He goes, starting at point guard, the guy that was getting up to go to the bathroom.
So we lost to that team.
Yes, we did.
I think another good evening from LeVert. 27 points that game. He's really shown well, I think, this week in particular.
Handling the ball.
Yeah, he looked
Being
good.
the facilitator.
But overall, we gave up 63 points in the first half. I mean, we've seen this team this year. Like they're not great at digging out a hole. So
No, in fact, that Houston game was a nice win because it was the first game of the year that we won where we were trailing going into the fourth quarter.
First one of the year.
First one of the year, yeah. Not that we were trailing big, even. We were trailing by like 3 points or something.
Still, but I mean, if that's the stat, that's the stat.
That is the stat. So,
We beat a team that's actively trying to tank in the fourth quarter. Good on us.
yeah. Well, that game, I guess, went how it's supposed to go, right?
Right.
The
They
feisty
stay
team
competitive.
plays you competitive until the fourth quarter, and
And then they roll over.
Right.
Exactly.
Which is what we've been doing all year, I suppose?
Exactly.
Okay, good.
uh,
Except not the feisty part.
right. Yeah.
occasionally feisty.
Not this week, my friend.
I felt like I agree. I felt like the highlight of the week was Karis LeVert sort of becoming unlocked as the ball handler and just having the green light to attack the basket. He created a lot of stuff that way, got himself to the line, scored a lot of points. He looks like he has a pep in his step. I think ever since the rumors came out, I don't think he expected to be in that group of players that was rumored to be traded.
He's like, I just got here,
he's
man.
like, wait a minute.
What?
You just traded for me.
Say what?
You knew I was hurt.
And so he's been responding well.
Well, and it was 20, 21 assists in the last, in the 2 games that he was starting
That's right.
at
That's exactly
point.
right.
And you're right. Just I thought choosing his moments well, getting in the lane and then passing it, or doing his little floater or his pullback. Like, I thought he had real command of the floor. He's not a pure point guard. It's clear. It's still a little bit stop and go in the offense, but I liked what he did.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And the Bulls are a good team. I know you don't think they are from Slack. You think they're not very good.
You've been making fun of the Bulls for 10 years now. So.
I disagree. I think they're a really good team. And I think that what makes them difficult, and what made them difficult in this game, every time we got within 8 or 10 or something like that, either DeRozan or Zach LaVine would make a shot that you just can't you play great defense, and there's nothing you can do, and they make shots. And they've been doing that all year.
And Vucevic, too, like, just...
Yeah.
I was really impressed that I
score
really
buckets.
do feel like we scrapped a lot of this game. We'd scrapped for 23 seconds.
Well, I would say the second half.
Yeah. And then in that last second, they'd hit a big shot.
Yeah.
Or
we commit a stupid foul.
Or a stupid foul. Zach LaVine and DeRozan are just bears to handle. They just are. You'd be like... And LaVine got on fire.
Yeah.
He'd been in protocol, so he hadn't played in like 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
He looked like he had fresh legs for sure.
What Cory Buckner kept saying, that's fresh legs. Yeah, I mean, the other thing that is a running theme throughout this entire last few weeks is the Pacers cannot shoot from the three-point line.
Mm-hmm.
I think we started out, we were sort of middle of the pack, maybe a little bit above middle of the pack. Now we're 4th to last in the league in three-point shooting percentage. And it's like atrocious over the last 15 games or something like that.
It looked at last night. I mean, it really was.
It's like Miami. That's where we got in a huge hole on the 3-point line.
You're not going to dig out against them, when you're shooting like that.
Well, and that's I actually liked what we were doing, especially in the second half, offensively against Chicago. They brought in a scrappy unit, right? They just brought in a bunch of scrappers defensively, and then we were just going to take advantage of the mismatch down low because we had 2 big guys, or at least always 1 big guy in the rotation, and so we constantly were taking, Miles Turner or Sabonis could do something in the post, but if they threw it out to the perimeter, it was like Wanamaker or Torrey Craig or these guys that aren't known for 3-pointers, and we just could not take advantage of it if there wasn't going to be a shot down low.
Yeah. I mean, we were getting open looks, and
it just wasn't going
we're
down.
not a good 3-point shooting team.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Well, I want to talk about the win we had this week a little bit. The Houston game. Aside from Houston, the franchise like trying to tank. What are some things that the Pacers did have control over that they look good. You mentioned Karis LeVert and Miles Turner had a great game.
Miles Turner had a great game.
Yeah.
And it's aggressiveness, right? He's cutting to the basket. He's taking advantage of his size. He's hitting threes. Like he was the only big man in that game. Sabonis was out. And, he has said repeatedly, I want more opportunity. I can do more offensively. When he moves like that, when he is aggressive, when he gets that many touches, he's capable of that. He has said himself that he's a glorified role player. He's not wrong on the offensive end. I thought he had a pretty good week defensively, but I think the last 2 games. I mean, I think even though Sabonis was on the floor with him in that Chicago game, I thought he took advantage of his mismatches. I thought he was active. He was getting to the bucket. There was some tough offensive rebounds you don't really see from him in that Chicago game. Yeah, I thought he had a good week.
Yeah. For sure. And defensively, he really took over in the fourth quarter of that Houston game. He had a couple, just smother blocks. Just stop coming in here.
Exactly.
Okay? And,
you're like, they're fading, and they're totally waiting to he's going to mistime this because
Yeah.
they're hanging in the air and he still catches them.
Yeah.
That's always beautiful.
And I think it was Christian Wood or somebody on the Rockets just stopped looking at the basket for a while. Like he would get the ball and just be like, okay, who do I pass to?
I wish we could quantify that. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's leading the league in blocks, but how many blocks is
Right.
how many blocks does he not get because they're afraid of him?
Right.
If a
Yeah.
tree falls in the wood, nobody's there to hear it.
In Christian's Wood or what?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think. When he's like that, when he's dropping, when he's in a 30 and 10 night, like and blocking shots too, like the team follows. He's when he gets I love seeing him when he's pumping his when he's
He
just
gets so
when he's so amped, he gets so excited, like the team can't help but rally behind that. But
Yeah, I really felt like watching the Chicago game that there's just a real lack of joy on this team, though. This is a team that's really afraid to make mistakes. They don't seem like they're having a good time. In that Houston game, everybody talked about how much fun they had and all that stuff. It's real fun to play against a bad team.
Right.
When you're down 18 to 8 the entire game, and no matter how well you're playing, because we went on this stretch where we were like just turning them over like every other time down this court, and we'd get the ball and we'd come back and we'd get a layup or whatever, and then they'd come down and hit a 3-pointer. Or we'd run a really good offensive play and we'd get a great, basket, and then they'd come down. We'd play great defense for 23 seconds and they'd score or get fouled. And it just was deflating, and we just didn't look like we were ever really that happy that we were there. And that was the sense I got out of that game, which is too bad. I mean, I think that's one of the things we've talked about with this team in general, that they don't have the joie de basketball.
It's tough. They came out and played super sloppy basketball in that game and got themselves in that hole, I thought.
For sure.
They had like 5 or 6 turnovers in the first quarter that were just
Stupid.
throwing the ball away, not forced turnovers. So, and it's just hard to climb back. Yeah, Bulls shooting that game 56%, 57%.
You're not catching
basically.
up unless you play perfect basketball. I mean, we start with that sloppiness.
Exactly.
I know we were. I don't know what we ended up for the game, but I know we were in the mid to high 30%.
We climbed. The second half was much better, and I thought indicative of that was Chris Duarte, who's the guy I wanted to give a shout out to. He's been playing great the last few games. He had a horrible first half. He was one of these guys that was throwing the ball into the eighth row.
Or to the other team is mainly what he was doing.
And then in the second half came out and looked much more in control and on balance and focused and I think he scored 9 runs. Yeah. He's a grizzled vet, Yeah.
So, no, he looked fantastic in the second half. I really agree with that. He just looked really sharp. You know who also looked good?
Dwayne Washington Jr.
Yes. I'm starting to wonder whether he needs a nickname.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he was fantastic. He came out and, forced a turnover. What else did he do? He
made a basket, had an assist, and
had a great assist.
Had a steal. First minute.
It was he was there for first 4 possessions. He was just all over the box score.
Last name's Washington, first president, of course.
Right.
What about the president?
I think we already have one of those. Okay. What about what about wooden teeth?
Cherry tree?
Cherry tree. Ooh, not bad. Cherry tree. Mount Vernon's not bad. Pop the cherry. Papa Bear. Bear.
Pop a shot.
Gummy Bear.
Gummy Bear. Gummy Bear's good. I like
Gummy Bear's not bad. All right, I think we got there. It's word association, Joey. Gummy Bear is the new nickname.
Wait, what was the one before Gummy Bear that we got there?
Papa Bear?
Papa
Shot? Papa Bear.
Okay.
I think it's good. I think we go with Gummy Bear. We're doing it live.
What about Papa Bear? I like that better.
Yeah, but I mean, is he a Papa?
I don't know.
He's Gummy.
I don't know.
He's Gummy. Oh, goodness.
Shout out, though. So this guy's a two-way player. He's playing for his life. Ooh, forgot. Do we do the, are we supposed to do the haiku on the next show or this show?
This show.
It's this show.
Oh, well, I have a haiku for a haiku corner.
You do.
High Life, Champagne of Poems. Haiku Life.
Haiku Life.
Haiku Life, Champagne of Poems. corner. This is my haiku for the week. Grab COVID moment, you men of 10-day contracts. Sky is the limit.
Wow. I love it.
That's like broad. That's like league wide. It's
Yeah,
not
no,
just-
yeah, that was for the whole. I got excited for Dwayne. I got excited for a lot of these guys. There's a ton of guys that are having really special moments.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas was back in the league. He scored
Lance
like
Stevenson
42
back in the
points. Lance Stevenson, not making him dance yet, but I'm sure he will.
He will.
He'll figure it out.
He will.
But no, it's been
Yeah, they
great
put-
for all these guys
They
with the
put the G
COVID.
League on pause.
Yeah, they did. Just
did
so
they?
they could,
Yeah.
so they could just bring up all these guys
Yeah.
because the
In
league needs
part
so many.
because of COVID, the guys are also going into COVID protocol.
Sure.
But the guys that aren't are getting called up to the NBA.
Sure.
So they just don't have enough players. Basically.
Right. Because there's no G League, right?
There's no F League.
Right.
Whatever it would be
Oh,
underneath that.
F League sounds hot. Like, I want it.
Joey's all in on the F league.
Sign me up.
Yeah, but despite all of this, we can pick out guys that played well and nice moments.
For sure.
We ended up, this week was a bad week of basketball overall. 1 and 2 got blowed out. Embarrassed. We got embarrassed. I listened to that game on the radio, and Mark Boyle was not happy, my friend. He was like, this is embarrassing, basically. Yurtseven dropped 8 points and 13 rebounds on us.
Is Yurtseven a word?
Udonis Haslem got 5 minutes. Which is
Udonis
probably
has, so is
the
he
5 minutes he will get all year.
is he 75 years old? How old is Udonis Haslem?
He's sadly younger than us.
Okay, well, I feel like 75, so maybe that's fair enough.
Gabe Vincent?
Gabe Vincent, have you ever heard of him before? How did he do?
He had 13 and 3 rebounds and 2 assists. What is that guy's name? Matthew Strus?
No, Max Strus,
Max
which is a
Strus?
pretty solid name. Max Strus.
Max Strus dropped 18 on us and grabbed 7 boards and 4 assists. Dwayne Dedman got a lot of minutes.
And then what was
Okpala.
KZ? What's that name? Dude's name? KZ Okpala. Okpala.
What did he do? He had 16, 3 rebounds.
So if you've heard of any of these people, please tweet in and tell me that I'm terrible for not knowing these
His name
players.
is KZ. It's not like spelled out like KAYZE.
Right.
It's the letter
The letters
K
KZ.
and the letter Z.
Now,
At the beginning of a radio station.
KZ Okpala dropping 16, coming in at the bottom of the hour. So Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and your Pacer favorite, Oladipo, all out this game.
What did you think of Matt Gillespie that game?
I thought he was amazing.
Okay.
I think he probably scored 6 points and 7 rebounds.
You think he did that from the pages of As I Lay Dying?
He could have against
could.
our team.
Oh, he could have,
The
for
defense we were playing, he definitely probably could have pulled that off.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. So we'll expound a little bit more about where we are in our Pacers milieu right now. We basically are stringing together a lot of 1 and 2 weeks, which is not doing great for us. We continue to play basketball into the new year this week. We play next on Wednesday, the 29th, versus Charlotte. We play Chicago again on New Year's
good,
Eve.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, is it that's
at
the early
home.
game,
both,
right?
Both those games are at home.
Okay.
The New Year's Eve game is at 3:00. Potential baby race.
Are you taking Ethan to the baby race?
Unfortunately, we got to head back. We're not going to.
Oh, I think he can walk now too. Like I'm not sure that that's even fair.
Yeah, he probably would just stand up and walk. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Although no, if he has nothing to pull up on, he can't do that yet. So, anywho,
He sounds like a ringer.
Sounds like a ringer.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let him stay over at my house if you want to have him do the baby race.
that'd be great. We could get some sleep. Oh my god, that would be wonderful. And you just ship him back.
Yeah, just put a label on him.
And then Sunday into 2022. Shout out at the Cleveland Cavaliers, who is we have mentioned before. We are looking up at.
Way better than us.
Yeah.
Surging Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh my god.
What's that week feel like to you?
Okay, so remind me.
Charlotte at home, Chicago at home,
Okay.
Cleveland.
I'm getting a 1 and 2 vibe out of this.
Okay. Joey, what do you
I think we can sweep this week.
You were going to sweep this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Joey, have you watched this team play?
I
did. You're supposed to be an analyst.
No, he's the host.
Oh, he's the host. He doesn't.
Yeah, I don't have to follow your stupid rules.
All right, sweet.
Well, and I should say we should try to pick up as many wins now, because January, if you'll remember from the schedule pod, is brutal, and we are going into the most brutal stretch. And I'll quickly run it down for you. Starting January 5th, hosting Brooklyn, hosting Utah, at Boston, home to Phoenix, at the Clippers, at the Lakers, at the Warriors, at the Suns.
If you'll recall when we did our preseason pod, that this was supposed to be the December to remember.
Yes.
I already
Because
forgot it.
this
man.
is our chance to make up some ground before that tough stretch in January.
That's right.
How do we do in December? It was not a December to remember.
Thus far, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Oh.
December.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if to remember is almost 500, then sure.
well, we got time to break that 500 threshold, baby.
You're gonna sweep this week, huh?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that.
I'm still calling 1 and 2.
I'm with Joey. I think we'll sweep it.
Yep.
Just because this team, as soon as you think you get out, they pull you back in.
So no, I was gonna say that. Like, I was actually talking to a friend of mine the other day, and they're like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It wasn't you or Jason. That's basically it. I have other friends. I mean, not really. So I was actually talking to myself,
Okay.
and they were like, "Oh, the Pacers really responded to this trade rumor stuff." And I was like, "If you'll recall, you should go listen to the pod. It was the most depressing sweep week in the history of the Pacers because we beat like really bad teams. Like, we didn't respond. We just happened to beat these teams by attrition. Like there's been what, 1 or 2 good wins all season. I mean,
A couple.
Yeah. I mean,
No, yeah, I think let's
the
do
Utah win.
yeah.
Uh,
And then there was one other one where I thought it was the win of the year, but was it the San Antonio one maybe?
The New York.
that was
they
a
beat New
that was a
York.
big comeback
pretty good.
win.
Yeah.
The Chicago went when we
Six-
roasted
Oh, the Chicago. Yeah. When we beat Chicago in Chicago, that was big.
Beat the Sixers. That was all right. And I think some of the New York wins have been.
Okay,
Useful.
sure, but New York's worse than us right now. It's got as far as their.
Yeah, basically
Record.
it's the Utah one.
So my only point is, we have a lot of moral victories, but not even that many. So.
Right.
So if you say that this team draws you back in every time you give up on them, they're not really doing that.
Well,
You're
I mean,
just
but they do. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a sicko, so they do drive me.
sure.
that way, but-
No, I mean, I really enjoyed watching Karis LeVert this week. Doing his thing. I thought Miles Turner looked good. I liked what the coaching staff was trying to do with that Chicago game. If we hadn't fallen behind by such a big margin, I think we could have controlled the pace of that game. We just played like crap in the first quarter. So it was a good coaching game plan.
New York's ahead of us, by the way.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And not by much. They're like a game ahead, but
Yeah, but so is everybody, right?
at least. Except Orlando and Detroit.
Oh, Joe. So I know that on the Thursday show you do stat of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say, can I have a stat of the show?
Sure.
It won't be the stat of the week. It won't be official.
No, it's not.
Wow, that was.
What you got? What you got?
Um,
I'll be the judge. What do you got for me?
so here's the number:
Okay.
60 to 80.
Okay.
That's
the
my number.
The range.
The range of 60 to 80.
Okay.
Okay. And so in Romeo, Michigan, man called into the Detroit Animal Welfare Shelter and said that he was coming to surrender 60 to 80 parakeets from his father's house, who was an animal hoarder.
Oh,
Okay, this was Thursday, the day before Christmas Eve.
sure.
Okay, so he showed up that evening with 497 parakeets.
Well, it's a discrepancy.
They said temporary housing and food was donated for the birds.
How do you
So they're all-
transport that many?
No, this is my question. Do you rent a box truck? Like, do you have to have like 5 birds in each cage? Do you still have 100 cages? Like, what do you even do with that? Like, how many minivan rides did he make? Did he just have them all free? Did you just push them all into the van and was like, "I'll see you there"?
Well, at his dad's house, they had to have been free. Because to
Oh,
get your head count off that bad,
I think he was just afraid they wouldn't let him show up.
Okay.
I think he was
Sure.
like, "Hey, I've got a bunch of birds," and they're like, "Hey, what's a number where they're going to be like, that's a lot?
that's a lot,
We'll bring
but
in,
we'll still
right,
like
we'll
help you
bring in
out."
some extra help because
That's
it's a lot."
I mean, it's almost an order of magnitude off. You know.
It really is.
It almost is,
Yeah.
you're right. Wow.
So that's my stat of the week. 60-80 became 497 parakeets.
Okay. I hope it wasn't supposed to be even 500 and they just like.
Wow.
Three
So
of them.
if you're in the market for a parakeet.
Yeah, exactly. If you would, even if you're not in the market for a parakeet, but
help a,
just want to help out Romeo, Michigan,
help a brother out.
yeah, just
Take a sympathy parrot, you know?
sympathy bear.
That's a lot. That's so many. I mean, I can't imagine.
I don't know
You'd
how
have
he
to
got
have-
him there.
You'd have to have such a big house, I feel like. I don't know.
Apparently, he's an animal hoarder, but like, do you think about the bird feces in that house?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Outside. It's in Michigan. You can't keep them outside, right? Like,
Oh no, no, this is all in the house. And then, like I said, I mean, I don't even know how you transport them.
oh, did he even tell his dad? Like, or did he be like, "Hey, go for a walk," and
I
he
think
just?
it takes a while to move 500 birds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, go for
Did he
a-
have? Did he have them like in large dog cages, and he just like stuffed them all in?
I don't know. I think you need to do some
More research for my side of the week.
investigative. No, you did a good job, but you need to do some investigative journalism.
Yeah.
And peek behind the curtain here for Unbeatables fans. Colson brought that stat of the week on a ripped out piece of newspaper. He ripped the story out of the paper.
So I just want to peek behind the curtain. I'm staying with my parents, and my mother reads me interesting facts from the paper in the morning, and I said, "You have to save that for me because that's my stat of the week."
Oh,
And then I think
that was from your mother.
I know, and I think what she said was it's called Joey's stat of the week, and so I had to come in. I had to come in all humble and like, "Hey, it's my stat of the show" or whatever.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna give attribution to where it's due. So shout out to Joyce. That's your stat of the week, Joyce.
Nice.
All
Joyce's stat of the week.
Well, I think that should about wrap it up for this show. We'll be back with you on Thursday. Until then, you can hit us up on the social medias. We are on Twitter at Undebeatables, Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. Our website is TheUndebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. And you can send us an email. Shout out at TheUndebeatables.com. And we got a store where we sell things. The website/store. Mostly medium shirts.
For the architect Donnie Walsh, who is definitely on call right now. I mean, he doesn't get the holidays off the way this is going. And for our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Sick Leonard. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
That was pleasant.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, it was like it felt Christmassy, like I was doing. Yeah.
Yeah. We were doing tours of Indianapolis this week. Because Jill, and the first time I brought Ethan here, so of course I had to,
Seeing your stomping grounds.
walk him around and explain everything to him. Yeah.
Right.
He grasped most of it.
Mhm.
I'll
For
say.
sure.
But we were downtown on the Circle, and there's that church down there. I
Mhm,
forget
yeah.
what it is. Very old church. But you guys, Madrigals always used to have a concert there.
Yeah, that's where we do
And
our
so
final
I
concert, yeah.
remember, yeah,
That's right.
going there
And so-
many a time.
So Ethan's really excited to go check it out.
Well, he's excited to hear you mostly reprise your Madrigals role.
Walk down that lonesome road all
gonna get
by
us sued.
yourself. Yeah, you're right.